Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Today, the New York City Marathon took place. It was the absolute perfect day for the New York City Marathon. A Kenyan won it for the males, and a Kenyan also won it for the females. What I want to show you is what stands out. Part of what I am trying to reveal on this channel is the truth about the things going on in this world. And in the world of sports, even in marathon racing, it is very much controlled by the Freemasons, the Zionists, who are essentially growing athletes to fit the part. And it is one of my beliefs, I don't know this for a fact, but I truly think that a lot of athletes that go before our eyes are not born from mothers and fathers as we are, but instead are born in laboratories and are the work of scientific experimentation. When I was a child, I was in school when Dolly the sheep was announced. You should see my video on Dolly the sheep, Truth Seeker. The people who run this world are laughing at us. Anyway, when I was a kid, I asked my teacher, if they can clone a sheep, why can't they clone a person? And my teacher didn't have the answer, but he thought that, they had the knowledge for the sheep, they hadn't figured it out for the human being. In my mind, that didn't make sense, though. I thought, if they can clone a sheep, they can probably clone anything that's living. And something tells me in this world, a lot of athletes and possibly other figures, such as politicians, actors, who knows what else, that go before us, might actually be man-made creations more than we know. The reason I think this is not only because of the freakish athletic ability, but because of how weird it is the way their names, birthdays, jersey numbers, it all aligns. There's so many athletes in this world who wear a jersey number that's identical to their name gematria, that's identical to their birth date. And in some cases it could be coincidence, but at the rate it occurs, it seems to be well beyond coincidence. You don't have to take my word for this. If you learn these skills and apply what I am teaching, you will find the same things that I do. And if you read the comments in my videos, you will see that other people are making the same finds, not just me. I am teaching a skill, a very real skill that you can learn and apply. And again, you can make these same findings. So that said, let's get into it. The person who won the New York Marathon today is a Kenyan named Stanley Bawat. And look at the name gematria of Stanley Bawat. Gematria of 59. Also, the name Stanley has 33 coded into it. Bawat is 26, like the God number. What's interesting about the gematria of 59 is this is a number coded on black people throughout history. Slave, Negro, blues all has gematria 59. Motown Records came out in 59. I did a video earlier last year. I think it was Nigeria that was declared Ebola free. Maybe I can pull this up real quick. Here we go. It was Liberia. Liberia is declared Ebola free 42 days after being without Ebola on the date of May 9th, Truth Seeker. And the thing that's gross about this is the numbers 42 and 59 are coded all over black people. It is a very racist joke from the Masons and the Zionists who believe in conquering through dividing. And my point in showing you this is just how these numbers are coded over and over again on black Americans. Anyhow, Stanley Bawat, his name has these numbers, 59. The big way, Stanley equals 96 and Bawat equals 89. The number 89 is another number that shows up in black tragedy as well very often. Whitney Houston's birthday was August 9th. Michael Brown was murdered on that date by the numbers. My girlfriend just chose this movie to watch the other night called Crew Love. That movie is all full of these numbers, Truth Seeker. But in the end, when the main character dies, you see that his birthday has a numerology of 89. If you have Netflix, stream the movie Crew Love. In the beginning of the film, a woman comes to this man's room and says, "Get up in 45 minutes." And he goes, "Nah, I'll get up in 47 minutes. No, make that 51 minutes. And for anyone who watches this video channel, they know what stands out about 47 and 51 right away. These are two of the most important numbers to the Freemasons and the Zionists. The way word crew is spelled in that movie as CRU, which sums to 42. This number stamped all over black Americans. Think about how Jackie Robinson wore 42. The word nigger, the most hateful word for black Americans, has a gematria of 42. Notice how it has 59 coded into it twice. What's interesting about 59 is when you break it down into separate numbers, 5 and 9. 5 and 9 are the only two numbers that have gematria of 42. Black History Month is February, the only month with gematria of 42. The final day of February is February 28th, the 59th day of the year, Black History Month. The name Martin Luther King Jr. sums to 228, kind of like February 28th. The coding is deep. I only mean to inform you of how important these numbers are and how they show up again and again. Anyhow, that name Stanley with the gematria of 96, like the word Freemason, also like the word February the Big Way. Notice the gematria of New York City Marathon, which he just won, 96. Stanley, the perfect name to dominate the New York City Marathon. He's 29 years old, Stanley. 29 is the first number to have a numerology of 11 after 11. 2 plus 9 equals 11. New York's the 11th state. The race was won on the first day of November, the 11th month. Today's date numerology also happens to reduce to 11. 1 plus 11 plus 2015, 11. The New York Marathon fell on November 11th this year, 111. New York equals 111 in gematria. The New York Mets are in the 111th World Series. You follow these numbers, you can make big predictions. I predicted the Mets would be in the World Series during spring training. They made it. I made that prediction because it was the 111th World Series, a very important number to New York, a city that has dominated baseball. Can't help but notice he's wearing orange and blue, the Mets colors. Orange has that gematria of 33 like Stanley. Kenya also in gematria breaks down to 11. Kenya known for producing great racing athletes. The woman who won the marathon today, also from Kenya, Mary Kitani. Mary Kitani, if you can believe it, is 33 years old, matching the name gematria of Stanley. Her name in gematria, not quite as interesting, but also interesting. Mary Kitani in simple English gematria sums to 142, and what's special about this is if you write out the word 42, it sums to 142. President Obama, the first black president, President Obama equals 142. Of course, this is an NYC with the 42 gematria. The marathon is 26 miles or 42 kilometers. 42 kilometers, Truth Seeker. The name Mary also has gematria of 57, like World Series, like Mets, like the old stadium, Shea Stadium. See if this bodes well for the Mets. The Mets play their final game in New York today of the World Series. They'll have to win 3 straight to win it, including 2 in Kansas City. Look at her personal stats, the way they're listed, Truth Seeker. It says she's 42 kilograms or 93 pounds. The most important numbers in New York are 39, 42, 93, 111. This lady most definitely has the numbers. Mary and Stanley. Interesting names in Kenya. Also, this note about this American woman who got one of the top finishing times as well. Some interesting things about her that they mentioned. Her name sums to 42 in gematria. 26 years old. Again, a marathon is 26 miles or 42 kilometers. And then she ran hers in 2 hours and 28 minutes, which is just like United States of America, 228. The race is sponsored by TCS, having gematria of 42 like NYC, like the length of the race. This is what it is to live in a Freemason, Zionist-controlled world where everything is run by the numbers. You know, I've been working hard to expose this night and day, and a lot of you have found the information, but there's still many, many people out there who don't have a clue and desperately need this knowledge. For anyone who just found this video and you're a skeptic of this information, please check out my other work. I have been backing up my points on a daily basis since October 2013, so more than 2 years ago now. Something's up with these athletes and their well-coded names that fit their sports ever so perfectly. Just a world of this. Marathon, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, tennis, you name it. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.